Hello everybody, it's Lisa and welcome to my craft room. Excuse me while I pull in my chair. I am here today to show you a very quick project that you can do with children. We're all looking for ways we can entertain the kids at the moment during the coronavirus lockdown, which we're all going through, and the kids are getting really bored. So this is a nice wee project. I've actually made up a couple of kits for these for Oliver, my son's little friend, and her brother. So I'm going to give her a wee shout out. Hi Emma. So I thought it would be nice to do a quick tutorial to show them how you actually make the love heart and do the stitching and everything. Now, if you already follow my channel, you'll see that I am obsessed with making these little love hearts, and I've made loads of garlands with them. I've got one hanging in my craft room. The video will be down below. It's one of the most recent ones I've done, and I've also made them for gifts for people. So once you actually learn how to make these, you could actually make a little garland and string them up on your wall. And how cute would that be? And you can use up lots of scraps of fabric. Now, I have a die cutting machine and dies that actually cut out these shapes, but you don't need to have any fancy equipment. You can draw a shape and cut it out, or you can download a shape from the internet, and it could be any shape at all. Just so happens I'm obsessed with the love hearts, and that's what I enjoy doing. Also, you could just use 2 pieces of felt because that's not going to fray. But I like to use felt as the back piece because it stabilizes it and stops it from fraying. And I just use a wee scrap piece of fabric on the front here, but 2 pieces of felt would be great. Alternatively, you could cut out the shapes with pinking scissors, zigzag scissors, so that the edge would be zigzag, and that reduces fraying as well. So I'm going to get started. You will need a few supplies. You'll need scissors, a needle with a reasonable size eye, some embroidery floss or thread. It doesn't need to be embroidery floss. You can use even a piece of wool, or if the wool's too thick, you can separate it out. You could use thread, but I had this in the house and I like to use a contrasting colour. And we are also going to sew on a little piece of ribbon here and a button to hide the stitch work that we've done. And you can hang that up, but you don't need to make this. You could make the love hearts and string them together with some thread or some wool, and you would get a lovely wee garland. So we are going to do a blanket stitch. Make sure you have a knot at the end of your thread, and we're going to start at the top of the love heart so that we finish at the top, because ultimately we are going to sew on a button, and then that will hide all the the knots at the end and the beginning. So I'm going to put my knot inside the fabric so that you don't see it, and I am going to start in the center. Don't worry too much about how it looks at the start because you are going to hide it. And what you do is you try and make your stitches all the same distance from the edge and all the same width apart. But to do a blanket stitch, you put your needle through and then wrap your thread round your needle once. See it there? And then pull it. And I always keep my fingers at the back so that my thread doesn't get all knotted up at the back. And you'll see there you have the top of this stitch running along the edge. But you don't need to do that stitch, you could do any stitch, but this helps reduce the fraying. So next one along, wrap it round once, pull it. Next one. Now you would just take your time and do it nice and neatly. See, I've got a wee knot at the back that even though I was being careful, I've managed to get a knot. Now I am rushing because I don't do video editing, or I would have just made this bit go a wee bit faster. So just go all the way around the edge. Keep going, see, rushing. And these are really addictive. So I hope you're all doing okay during this lockdown that's affecting most of the world. In Scotland, we've been on lockdown for a couple of weeks, and then we were on semi-lockdown for about a week before that. So the schools are closed. Everybody who can is working from home. And fortunately, my husband and I can both work from home. But it is pretty tough going. Obviously, we don't do the things we enjoy so much. On a personal note, I haven't seen my grandchildren for 3 weeks, and that absolutely breaks my heart, but we need to follow the rules, make sure we're all safe. One of my granddaughters has a serious health condition, so she is in the shielded category, so we aren't going to be able to see her for 12 weeks, which is just devastating, but we need to keep her safe. And we have been making videos for her and reading stories and things like that, singing little songs, just video chat to try and keep that strong bond we have going. But she is really finding it tough because she likes to go out and about every day, so I think everybody is struggling. But for the wee ones who don't really know what's going on, they are particularly struggling, I think, because you can't explain to them what's happening. So you'll see there, we are almost getting to the end. So wrap the thread round once, and you'll see we have a lovely little edge here. And we're almost there. Normally I would take a little bit longer and make sure my stitches are even. So we are almost there. So you would then stuff the heart with some toy stuffing, or if you had an old cushion or an old pillow or an old cuddly toy that you didn't use anymore, you can use the stuffing from that, as long as it's clean, obviously. And what I always do with the stuffing is I break it up, pull it apart, get all the lumps out of it, make it nice and fluffy, and it gives it better results, because you'll see there it looks quite lumpy. And you don't need any fancy equipment. You don't even need a pencil. You just put it in with your finger. So what I like to do is put a bit of stuffing in and then keep sewing another little bit, and then just keep adding to the stuffing, and it makes it easier to sew. So put another wee bit in, and you can just make it as plump as you like. I usually put quite a lot in. And you'll see there it's starting to spill out, so I'll push it down, line up the edge again, and keep going with the stitching. We could probably get another wee bit in there. And we are almost there. So it'd be lovely to hear what you guys are all doing to pass the time during the lockdown. But I hope you're all keeping safe and following the rules. I think I might get a teeny weeny bit in there. Remember to line up the edges. It's almost Easter here, and it was supposed to be a lovely day today, and they were worried about people wanting to go out. Would people follow the rules? But actually, living on the west coast of Scotland, you'll have heard me say this before, the weather isn't always terribly nice. So England are having a beautiful sunny day today, but we aren't. It's maybe a couple of degrees warmer than it was, but that's about it. And you'll see there I'm coming to the end, so I'm just going to put the last stitch in there and just plump it up, squidge it about, and there you have your love heart. Now we're not going to cut this piece of thread off, we are going to need it, so I'm going to bring the needle through from the back to the front and just leave it like that, and we'll move on to the ribbon next. So get a piece of ribbon that's maybe a wee bit too long, and make it like one of these kind of charity ribbons, so cross it over like that, and then shape it. We want it, we'll put it this way. Okay, it's not quite as even as I would normally have it. And what I always do is I just gently scorch the edges, but for goodness sake, do not let your children do this. You're basically just running the edge of the flame along it, and that'll melt the edge and stop it fraying. But no, not the children. Do not let the children do this. And then when it's crossed over, just attach it there. And I always like to put it to the front because I think it looks nicer, but you can put it to the back if you like. Or you can put the ribbon to the back and the button to the front. That would be quite nice as well. And also, if you have any essential oils, you could always put a couple of drops of essential oil into the stuffing. Right, so now you've got that through. We're going to put the button on the top, pull the button through, and then down to the back again. And watch you don't jag your fingers. If you follow the same line from the back, you should get back through again. Pull it nice and tight. And there we have it. So to fasten off at the back, I usually just do a couple of stitches and then push it through. Wrap the thread round a couple of times this time. That will make a knot. Pull it tight. And then what I do is I go back in a little bit, not at the front, just the back. Pull it tight. Snip it off, being careful not to snip the fabric. And then that'll get hidden inside. So that's the back and that is the front. And we have our little love heart that you can hang on your door or hang on a little pin. And that's us done. So I hope you enjoyed that. And Emma, I hope you enjoy making your love heart and send me a picture once you're done. And if anybody's got any questions, then please put them in the comments section below. And if you haven't subscribed, it would be lovely if you could subscribe to my channel. This is just a hobby and I just enjoy sharing the stuff that I make. So that's it for today, and I'm going to say cheerio now, and I will see you all again soon. Stay safe, follow the rules. Bye.